Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 7, Lord Chaitanya's Tour of South India. So in that, we were reading that Mahaprabhu he started his journey to South India and he was singing Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Like this, Mahaprabhu was chanting, and anyone who he would see on the way, he would ask that person also to chant Krishna's name, and that person would be enchanted by the beauty and by the dancing and by the ecstasies of Mahaprabhu, that he would forget where he was going, and he would also, in ecstasy, he would start chanting and he would just follow behind Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after going for some distance, Mahaprabhu would embrace that person and he would invest that person with the Shakti of Krishna Bhakti. And then he would tell that person to go and spread this message to other people. So that person, now he's in ecstasy, so he would start walking towards his village. And while going, he would be singing, laughing, dancing, chanting the names of the Lord. And anyone he would see, he would tell that person also to chant Krishna's name. And in this way, when he would go back to his village, he would turn the entire village into Vaishnavas. So in that context, yesterday, we read, thing is hurting, the earphones. So he would Yeah. Well, so we read in the purport how Srila Prabhupada said, unless one is empowered by Krishna, by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because preacher is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Unless one is empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or by his devotee, the spiritual master, one cannot preach, or one cannot turn another person into a Vaishnava, because for somebody to turn another person into Vaishnava, he has to give that bhakti shakti to that person. Unless he has it, how he will give it? And how will he have it? He will have it by the mercy of the Lord and the Lord's devotee. So we discussed that science yesterday. We won't discuss it again now. We'll continue because we also have to cover the topic. Certainly, philosophy is very important. We must discuss philosophy every time we get an opportunity. But also we need to cover the syllabus here. So next, what happened? Gramantara hoite dekhite ailo jata jana tara darshana kripaya hoy tara sama. Gramantara hoite dekhite ailo jata jana. So now I think we are still talking about that person only. I'll just read the translation. People from different villages who came to see such an empowered individual. Yes, we are still talking about that devotee. That devotee means who was empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People from different villages who came to see such an empowered individual would become like him simply by seeing him and receiving the mercy of his glance. This is called sadhu sangha. And so there is devotee association, and also there is devotee's kripa, mercy. Association is, if you happen to be, let's say, a sadhu passed by a particular road, a particular path, and you happen to be in that, maybe long time ago that person went, and you happen to come in that place, you touch the dust. That is the, what do you say, the association of a sadhu. You got the association of a sadhu. But also there is mercy where the sadhu is intentionally, deliberately giving his mercy to you, right? He wants you to become a devotee. Kripa. Just like, and kripa can come in different ways. Kripa can come in the form of a curse. Kripa can come in the form of a blessing, or simply a glance, or an embrace, or some Mahaprasadam, or a garland, anything. Kripa can come in so many different ways. Narad Muni gave his kripa to Nalakuvara and Manigriva by giving a curse. That was Narad Muni's kripa. That is why they got the association, they got the audience of Krishna, because of Narad Muni's kripa. So association is, you happen to be maybe in that place, and like that. So association is also there, and kripa is also there. So this is discussed in the Bhakti Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami. We read there about Sadhu Sangha and Kripa. So Gramantara hoite. So he went back to his village and he turned the whole village into Vaishnavas. Now the word spread around like wildfire. In this particular village, this person, because of him, now everyone in that village is a Vaishnava. So people started coming from neighboring villages to find out and to take a look at this person. Who is this person? We also want to get darshan of this person. So Gramantara hoite dekhite ailo jatajan. As many people came there to take darshan of, can you just mix it? Krishna Shish. As many people as as many people came, or the number of people that came to see this person, all of them, Tara Darshana Kripaya, by the mercy of this person's darshan. That means simply by getting darshan of this person, because of seeing this person, they received the mercy. Just by looking at that person, they got the mercy. Tara darshana kripaya hoy tara sama. They became exactly like this devotee. Simply by seeing. That is why in Sadhu Prakara course we study how the power of sadhus is different. And how do you measure the power? The power is in terms of their love for Krishna. So there are various criteria to measure the love of a devotee for Krishna. So the more prema a devotee has, the more power he has. And if the sadhu is very powerful, he can even remove the most, difficult offenses. He can kick out. He can even give bhava bhakti directly. By his power, he can do that. So these people who simply saw this devotee who got mercy from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, simply by seeing this devotee, now they all became exactly like him. It was as if like that Shakti, that Bhakti got transferred to all these people. They became exactly like him in terms of, now what will happen? Now they came from different villages. They got this. Can you guess what will happen? They will go back to their village and turn that entire village into devotees. You understand? And then if someone else is coming from their neighboring villages to see him, what will happen? They will all become like him. Chain reaction. That's the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Gramantara hoite dekhite ailo jata jan tara darshana kripaya hoy tara sama. People from different villages who came to see such an empowered individual would become like him simply by seeing him and receiving the mercy of his glance. So they actually got mercy, his glance. He looked at them. Sei jai gramera loka Vaishnava koraya anya grami asitare dekhi Vaishnava hoya. Yeah. So when each of these newly empowered individuals, this is not the original, this is the secondary, right? These the newly empowered individuals returned to his own village. He also converted the villagers into devotees. And when others came from the different villages to see him, they are also converted. So everyone is becoming instantly, instantly they're turning into pure Vaishnavas. Say jai gramer loka Vaishnava koraya, anya grami asitare dekhi Vaishnava hoy. So everybody is like multiplying. Vaishnavas are multiplying instantly like that. Say jai aragrame kore upadesha, ei mata Vaishnava hoilo saba dakkhina desha. So Mahaprabhu is traveling in South India. Entire South India, everyone is turning into Vaishnavas like this. So, as I said, like a chain reaction. So this person, first of all, he received mercy from, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going on. So whoever he would meet, it's not just one person. Whoever he would meet, he would embrace and he would just, like, now you go. So that person will go to his village, turn his whole village into devotees, exactly like him. They will all become exactly like him. Each one is empowered now to turn another whole village, or, as many people that come in, that simply look at them. Simply by seeing them, they will all become pure devotees. And then not just that they would become pure devotees, now they would have the same potency. Anyone who would see that person, they will all become pure devotees. And in this way, like a wildfire, right? Everyone in South India was becoming a pure devotee by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Is that what South Indians are generally?
I don't know. Well, it's one thing to be religious, it's another thing to be pure devotees. But yeah. Anyway, Krishna Shish is asking, is that why South Indians are generally more religious? Anyway, text 104. Sei jai aragrame kore upadesha, ei mata Vaishnava hoilo saba dakkhina desha. In this way, as empowered men went from one village to another, all the people of South India became devotees. So these empowered men are going from village to village and empowering everyone else. Ei mata pathe jaite shata shata jan Vaishnava korena tare kori alingan. So how is Mahaprabhu turning them? Simply by embracing them, he's turning. How many? Hundreds and hundreds of people that he would meet. He would just meet any person, he would say, chant Hare Krishna. That person would be following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would embrace that person and he's empowered now. And that person would go and convert so many into devotees. And Mahaprabhu is converting, he himself is converting hundreds and hundreds. And those hundreds are now multiplying into thousands and tens of thousands. A mata pathe. Pathe means on his way, on the path. Jaite shata shata jana. So many people were walking. Vaishnava korena tare kori alingan. Mahaprabhu simply by embracing all of them, he's turning all of them into Vaishnavas. Thus many hundreds of people became Vaishnavas when they passed the Lord on the way and were embraced by him. Jai grame rohi bhikka korena jara ghare. Sei gramera jataloka I se dekhi bare. So Jai grame rohi. Now see, Mahaprabhu would go and in the evening he would stay at one village. So Jai grame rohi bhikka korena jara ghare. And then when he would go there in the village, somebody would invite him to come to his house, right? What a Brahmana wouldn't come. Sannyasi will only stay in a Brahmana's home. So some family, Brahmana family would invite him to stay in his house, spend the night in their house. And so that means they will serve him prasadam. So Jai grame rohi bhikka korena jara ghare, where he would accept prasadam in the person's house. Sei gramera jata loka, I se dekhibare. So as soon as he would go to one village, he would stop in one village for that day. That means in the evening to spend the night in one Brahmana's home. All the villagers in that village would come to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Say gramera jata loka, as many people as there were in that village, everybody would come to take darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In whatever village Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed to accept alms, many people came to see him. Prabhura kripaya hoy Mahabhagavat, say sava acharya hoya tarile jagat. So as many people as many people, how do you say it? As many people as they came. Anyway, no, whatever number of people came, 1 second. Mass level conversion, yes. Whatever number of people would come and take darshan of Mahaprabhu, all of them would become not just, now they will start chanting 16 rounds. No, they all instantly turned into Mahabhagavatas, Acharyas. They all became Acharyas instantly. They would come, all the village would come to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhura Kripaya Hoy, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, they all became Mahabhagavatas, right? That means first class devotees, Mahabhagavata, Uttam Bhakta, Mahabhagavat. Sei Saba Acharya Hoya Tarile Tarilo Jagat. And all of them became Acharyas and they delivered the whole universe. How nice. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a first class devotee. Later they became teachers or spiritual masters and liberated the entire world. Jagat. What happened here? Sakale ne mahata yoga nashtah parantapa. In due course of time, right, this yoga becomes forgotten. And that's why again Acharyas come, Srila Prabhupada came to wake us up. And remember, Kali Yuga is also progressing. So Kali is, what is the word? Attacking with all its powers. Yeah. So all the thing is, if Kali can succeed, in making us put away our japa bag, that's all it needs to do. Then we are gone, right? But when as long as we are taking shelter of the holy name of Krishna, sincerely understanding the danger, then Kali cannot do anything. And as long as we are not enamored by, the four sinful activities, illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, intoxication, and this is further elaborated by our acharyas. It is not just the gross activity of, eating meat. Similarly, there's much more inside that. So many things that we do are included in that. So that is there, and hoarding gold, all these things. So because that's where Kali resides, then we lose track. Ei mata koila
So,
javat gela setu bandhe sarva desha vaishnava hoilo prabhura sambandhe. Ei mata koila javat gela setu bandhe. So like this, Mahaprabhu is converting on a mass level, right? Converting or transforming, right? Not just converting, he's transforming uh, the hearts of so many people, turning them into acharyas, into Mahabhagavats, as he's walking towards Setubandha. So he goes to all the way to the end of South India, Rameshwaram, Setubandha. A mata koila javat gela Setubandhe. He arrived there at Setubandha. Sarva desha Vaishnava hoilo prabhura sambandhe. Sarva desha Vaishnava. So whatever places that he visited on his way going to Setubandha, every country or every place on the way, all the people in those places became Vaishnavas because of coming in contact with Mahaprabhu. Ei mata koila javat gela setu bandhe sarva desha Vaishnava hoilo prabhura sambandhe. In this way, the Lord went to the extreme southern part of India and he converted all the provinces to Vaishnavism. Mataji, Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
so Mataji, is Mahaprabhu like already like well-known personality in the South India? Because in North India, I don't think anyone knows about Mahaprabhu except the devotees like who follow ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada. So he's not like most of the people don't know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. Like he came as a incarnation of God. So since as we are reading that in South India, most of the devotees, he make many devotees villages and so many people. So most of the
Later
people
on,
know in South India already about
later on,
Mahaprabhu.
later on, we will read that he went to North India also. He
Uh-huh.
was there in Prayag, he was there in Vrindavan, and he traveled through Jharkhand forest. So he
Uh-huh.
traveled there also. But the thing is, yeah, in South India, see, why just in South India, even in Bengal, after Mahaprabhu's time, the whole place was inundated for 100 years or something. Remember, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to actually excavate. So, of course, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known in Bengal. No, Mataji. I personally didn't know, but some people know. Some people know. I mean, from my relatives, some people are familiar, but I was not familiar before. Uh, Actually, even if I had seen, sometimes you will find in temples, there are carvings on the temples. So in those carvings, you'll see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. This was when I was a child, but I didn't know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was back then, so I didn't pay much attention. But after I became a devotee, when I saw that, then I was like, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. I actually saw.
Yeah. Same happened with me, Mataji. I was in, I think, seventh or sixth class. One of my classmates, uh, his uncle made some, he was into some business and he gave some diary. And in that, there was pictures of Lord Krishna, Ramji, Hanumanji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panch Tattva, and Prikshit also. It's like from Bhagavatam pictures were there.
Mm.
And at that time, I only know about Lord Ram, Radha Krishna, and Hanumanji.
Right.
No other picture I know. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yes, now I
So
recall
like
that.
that, yeah. I think those who are like devotees, they probably know. But yeah, yeah, general people, I don't know. I mean, I was not actually, really, it is just simply by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that even, otherwise, It was just some, you do some worship, that's all. But actually bhakti, and it's it's not like you must surrender your life to bhakti. Bhagavad Gita also. Oh, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is there in homes, but what is there inside Bhagavad Gita, I didn't know. Even if they're, the older members are reciting the shlokas, I couldn't tell the difference between this and that, what they are reciting. They recite some mantras for 1 hour, 2 hours. They just recite from various books like that. But only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his devotees, coming in the association of devotees, I I came to know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about Bhagavad Gita, what is in Bhagavad Gita. And actually thinking about, you know, even if we just look at our own lives, we can see what a miracle it is. In such a short time, right? Actually, if you compare with how many lifetimes we have changed, in one life, such drastic changes, transformation, isn't it? Even if you say, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, but that is not a very long time. Starting from where and where we have come, how much faith we have developed. Yes, it is not 100%, no doubt, but still, compared to where we were, completely ignorant, and coming to this stage, this is just the mercy of, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. So, in this way, the Lord went to the extreme southern part of India and he converted all the provinces to Vaishnavism. नवद्वीपे जय शक्ति ना कोइला प्रकाशे से शक्ति प्रकाशी निस्तारिलो दक्षिण देशे. नवद्वीपे जय शक्ति na koila prakashe. See, that power he did not manifest in Navadvip. What was happening in Navadvip? Navadvip also, Mahaprabhu, he revealed his mood as a devotee, but it was only limited to his close associates. It was happening within the closed doors, Srivas Thakur's home. Yes, once Mahaprabhu took everyone out on this Nagar Sankirtan, Chand Kazi's home. But otherwise, the Kirtan was happening in the closed doors at night in Srivas Angan, right? Sometimes in Chandrasekhar Acharya's home. So it's not like Mahaprabhu is going on the street and he would send his associates. He would send Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur go and tell everyone to chant. And then he would get reports. But like this, personally, he is going to each person and simply by embracing them, he's turning them into Mahabhagavats. This type of mercy he didn't show in Navadvip. Navadvip, where he appeared, he spent so many years, practically all the time that he spent since his appearance. In Navadvip, he didn't show this mercy. But that mercy, right, or the manifestation of this Shakti, right? This we didn't see in Navadvip, which we are seeing in South India. Navadvipe Jai Shakti na koila prakashe, right? He did not manifest that Shakti in Navadvip. Se Shakti prakashi nistarilo dakkhina deshe. By manifesting that Shakti, he delivered, right? South India. The Shakti which he did not manifest in Navadvip, he manifested in South India and he delivered South India. So nice. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies at Navadvip, but he did manifest them in South India and liberated all the people there. Purport. At that time, there were many smartas. You know, smarta, how the word smarta is coming? From Smriti Shastras, right? So the followers of Smriti, smartas, At that time, there were many smartas, non-devotee followers of Vedic rituals. Non-devotee followers of Vedic rituals. That means they're following just the Vedic rituals, but not in a devotional mood. That is why I was telling you the other day, there is Karmi Varnashram. Varnashram means you're following the Vedic injunctions. But they're following Vedic injunctions, apparently following Vedic injunctions, not apparently, they're following. But what is the purpose? Material progress. That's called Karmi Varnashram. Impersonal Varnashram means this was during the era of Shankaracharya. You follow Varnashram, but the goal of following Varnashram is impersonal liberation, going and merging into Brahman. And then there is just Varnashram also. Not Karmi Varnashram, not impersonal Varnashram. There's another Varnashram which we read in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritin Arjuna. Sukritinaha. This is a Varnashram society. They are not aspiring for material progress. They are not thinking that by worshipping Lord Vishnu, I will go to Swarga, I'll get a lot of money. But they are thinking, they are also attracted to opulence, but they don't want temporary opulence. They want eternal opulence. So what will they get? If they perfect in that Varnashrama society, they'll go to Vaikuntha. And there they will get Mukti, Salokya, and other types of Mukti. Mukti does not necessitate that the person will get devotional service to the Lord. No. Mukti means you'll get that opulence and you don't have to take birth again. Just like when you get Brahman, Sayujya Mukti, you go and merge into Brahman, you don't have to take birth again. And there is some pleasure, right? Brahmananda is there. You don't have to take birth. You don't have the Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika miseries, any miseries which you don't have to take material birth again. So that is there. Like that, you go to Vaikuntha, it doesn't mean there you get devotional service. Although Lord Vishnu is there in Vaikuntha, but it's not that you are there with Lord Vishnu. Just like, in this country, there is the president, right? We are all living in the same country. How many of us have actually met the president, or we talk to the president, or we see the president all the time? What to speak of serving the president, right? And this is a just small country. What to speak of Vaikuntha? So big, right? So it's not necessary that everyone is actually, but they're all, they're worshippers. They worship Lord Vishnu. That's why Anyabhilashita Shunyam is very important. Pure devotional service means no other desire. If you have other desires, then, and you're doing Sakshat Bhakti 24 hours, but you have a desire, then that's what you'll get. You understand? So this is another type of Varnashram where they actually go to Vaikuntha and they get Mukti and they live in opulence there eternally. But Daiva Varnashram means your goal is pure, unalloyed devotional service. So here, when we talk about they are following the Vedic rituals, smartas, right? So they can either be Karmi Varnashram, where they want generally, smartas means generally, that's what it is. They want material progress. By following this Varnashram system, they want material progress, like that. So at that time, there were many smartas, non-devotees. So they're not devotees. Even though they're worshipping, they're not devotees. Even demigod worship. Actually, Smarta Varna, in this Smarta Varnashram or Karmi Varnashram, there will be demigod worship. It's Varnashram, but there they're actually worshipping the demigods. They're worshipping the demigods. When they worship Lord Vishnu, then that is the Varnashram that I told you, where they'll get Salokyadi liberation. So at that time, there were many smartas, non-devotees, followers of Vedic rituals at the holy place of Navadvip, which was also the birthplace of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Followers of the Smriti Shastra are called smartas. Most of them are non-devotees and their main business is following the Brahminical principles strictly. Yes, they follow. See, we see in Navadvip, They were all Brahmanas, right? And they would study Shastra also. Very learned. They were very good in logic, right? Even small children would be very expert in debating. Navadvip was the center of learning. On the street you will go, every other home, there's a teacher. Like the Gurukuls, their homes, every house is a Gurukul practically. Every Brahmana's home is a Gurukul. He'll have students coming and sitting there and they're studying. He's giving classes on Bhagavatam, but that does not mean he's a devotee. Example, Devanand Pandit. Devanand Pandit was a great speaker on Bhagavatam, but he was not a devotee until he got the mercy of Bakreshwar Pandit. He even offended unknowingly, his students offended Srivas Thakur. Mahaprabhu became very angry on Devanand Pandit. So this incident had happened before Mahaprabhu's appearance. Srivas Thakur was once passing by on the street, passing by Devanand Pandit's home, and in his home, in the courtyard, he was giving a Bhagavatam class. So Srivas Thakur, being a pure devotee, as soon as he heard Bhagavatam, he went inside to hear. And then when he was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, he went into ecstasy. He was crying and he fainted. So the students thought this person is simply disturbing the Bhagavatam class. So they just picked him up and threw him out of the house. Devanand Pandit, being the teacher, didn't say anything. He didn't correct the students. He just went on with his class. Srivas Thakur, when he was thrown out, he came out of that ecstasy and he felt very ashamed, and embarrassed. And also he felt sad that he was, thrown out of Bhagavatam class, right? So then he went back to his house. So at that time, the Lord is there in the heart. In case of devotees, Swayam Bhagavan is sitting in the heart. When one is not a devotee, then there is Paramatma in the heart. You will say he's the same person. He's same and he's also not same. He's not. It's like Paramatma is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Swayam Bhagavan means Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Lord as Bhagavan has a relationship with the devotee. He considers the devotee his person. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. This is Paramatma. I'm equal to everyone. I'm not partial to anyone. Nobody is my friend. Nobody is my enemy. That is Paramatma. So for Paramatma, he will simply give you the result of your karma. If you are a thief or if you are a person who is being robbed, Paramatma doesn't see anything. He'll simply see your karma. Oh, according to your karma, you should be robbed. So he'll allow that thief to rob you. And if you are not devotee, I'm saying, if you are not devotee, and the thief is also not, is because sometimes people question, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? It's not about good and bad. Good and bad will get reactions like that only. Good will get this reaction, bad will get that reaction. And you are thinking that person is good in this life. Who knows what he did in this past life? You cannot see the whole picture. So many lives he might have done, so many things. But Paramatma is not partial. He will simply give. Whether you are murdering or whatever you are doing, based on your karma, you have the desire, he'll allow it. That is Paramatma's roles with non-devotees. So when there are non-devotees, he's simply playing the role of Paramatma. He'll allow it to happen. Because unless the Lord allows, nothing can happen. Unless he sanctions, you cannot even blink your eye. You cannot do anything. So some things are happening means Paramatma is allowing. In the case of non-devotees, he just acts as Paramatma. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priya. But ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyam. When someone surrenders his life to Krishna and he becomes a devotee of Krishna, then Krishna says, he is in me and I am in him. That means वो मेरी जान है और मैं उसकी जान हूँ, right? Like that, like he's my life, and like generally lovers, they say you are my everything, you are my everything. Krishna feels like that about his devotee. He's my everything. He becomes so protective about that person, that devotee. If anyone does any harm to that devotee, Krishna takes it personally. He'll pick up enmity with the person. If one is a pure, just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee, and Hiranyakashipu is torturing Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj didn't complain. He didn't complain at all. He was fine. But the Lord, how dare, his anger couldn't be pacified. Even after killing Hiranyakashipu, he was not pacified. He was so angry. You do this to my devotee? Like this. This is the Lord's love for his devotee. So this is Bhagavan. So when you become a devotee, then who is in the heart? Paramatma? No. Bhagavan. Your Ishtadev that you are worshipping, that you have surrendered your life to you. That is the person in the heart. And then to such a pure devotee, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yog. No, not that one. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam. What's that verse? Satatam Kirtayantam. Nahi bhai. What's happening? Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. What's that verse? Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayantite. Yes. So one who is engaged like this in pure devotional service, Tesham Satata Yuktanam, to those people who are always engaged, Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, in always doing bhajan with great love. Dadami Buddhi Yoga, because the Lord is there in the heart. He is giving the intelligence. You do like this, you do like that. He takes it very personal. That is Bhagavan. But if you're not a devotee, then he just acts as Paramatma. He'll just give you according to your karma. Oh, at this time your karma is finished, you lose your hand. Finished. What about those who are not pure devotees? You may get that question, right? So those who are pure devotees, Bhagavan is fully taking control. Those who are not devotees, completely non-devotees, Paramatma is giving them the results. And, what about those who are not pure devotees yet, but they are struggling, they're doing some devotional service, they want to be pure devotees, then Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamiham. As one approaches me, I reward him accordingly. The extent to which you surrender, to that extent Bhagavan reciprocates. And the extent to which you don't surrender, to that extent Paramatma will give you your karmic reaction. What is not possible for the Lord? Everything is possible. So let us see. उसको चलाओ थोड़ा. Most of them are non-devotees. So that's why we are talking about non-devotees. So these people, Smartas, they're followers of Vedic rituals. They're followers of Vedic rituals. But they're following the Vedic rituals, but they're not devotees. Most of them are non-devotees. And their main business is following the Brahminical principles strictly. We are talking about in Navadvip here. Okay, we are not talking about South India. Here we are talking about Navadvip. So they were Smartas following Smriti Shastra and strictly following Brahminical principles. That's why we see there were so many Brahmanas in Navadvip, teachers. However, they are not enlightened in devotional service. They were not devotees. What was the goal of all that they were, the Brahmanas and everything? You should live nice, what do you say? They worship demigods like goddess Chandi, they would worship goddess Kali, they will worship goddess Durga, they would worship. And that means what? She will give us so much opulence. They would have elaborate wedding functions for their children. And that's enjoy life. And what was their enjoyment? Of course, Satvika would be like learning, right? You would learn so much from Shastra, but then you have to show everyone how learned I am, debating, right? Like that. But there was no bhakti, no devotional service. Even though they are Brahmanas, very strictly following, doing their Sandhya 3 times, chanting Gayatri, taking bath in the Ganga, and studying all Vedas, scriptures, Bhagavatam even. but still not devotees. That was the condition, smartas. However, they are not enlightened in devotional service. In Navadvip, all the learned scholars are followers of the Smriti Shastra. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them. Right? When Mahaprabhu was there, was he teaching to all the Brahmanas, you all should become? When did he teach? He debated with Prakashananda Saraswati. He debated with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Of course, he had a dialogue with Chand Kazi. That was because he was actually disturbing, right? He was torturing the devotees. So then Mahaprabhu had a dialogue with Chand Kazi. But other than that, do you see Mahaprabhu actually going and personally preaching to people in Navadvip? Actually, most of the time that he was there, before he manifested his mood as a devotee, he was just Nimai Pandit, the scholar. He would engage in debates, logic, right? So that was his role there. Of course, there were his eternal associates. Srivas Thakur was there, Advaita Acharya, Kolavecha Sridhar. So they were all there in Navadvip. And they would just be enchanted by him, Mukunda, Murari Gupta. They would just simply be enchanted by Mahaprabhu, but they would feel sorry if only he could become a devotee, if only he could become a devotee. But he was relishing that taste of being a scholar. He was known as Nimai Pandit. And then after his father passed away, even when he was a child, his father passed away. But later on, he was going to take the ashes of his father to Prayag, Gaya. So at that time, there he actually, gets initiated by Ishwarapuri. And when he comes back to Navadvip, that's when he manifests. Everyone is surprised because until now, they knew Nimai Pandit only as the proud, arrogant, Pandit, right? And nobody could ever win in debate over him. But now all of a sudden he's so humble, he's serving the Vaishnavas, washing their clothes, and folding them nicely, bringing to them. He would just, in a very humble way. This was completely a different Nimai that they had known before. So that was, and then even after that, he would call them. He would call these devotees who are always, these are all eternal associates. He would call them in some devotee's home. So first they met in Shuklambar Brahmachari's home on the banks of the Ganges. And then he said, come to Srivas Thakur's house. And that became their meeting place. Just the close associates, they would meet and the doors would be closed. And then they would have their kirtans and he would express his, his ecstasies to them like that. But to people in general, no, he didn't do that. That's why. So, and what was the condition of the people in Navadvip? They were all smartas, non-devotees. Even though they were brahmanas, but they were not devotees. And Mahaprabhu didn't preach to them. That's the point. He didn't preach to them. Why are you wasting your life in learning? You should. He had his students, of course. He had his students when he was Nimai Pandit, when he came back from Gaya, to his students, he would be like taking, first of all, he was not taking classes because he was always lost in, in his ecstasies. Then the students went and complained to Nimai's teacher, Gangadas Pandit. And then, so he called for Nimai and he said, what's going on? You are a Brahmana, you're the son of Jagannath Mishra, the great, a learned person. And, you should teach. This is your dharma. Brahmana's dharma you should do. And this will actually, make your family, your father, of course he had passed away, but, you will, Like this will actually increase the glory of your family, and this will make me also happy, like that. And then he said, okay, now I will teach. So he started teaching. But while teaching, he would only speak about Krishna. He was supposed to teach Sanskrit grammar. He would only, whatever questions they would ask, he would say, any question they would ask, the answer would be devotional service to Krishna. And then in that also, in between, he would go into ecstasies. So finally, he told them, you know what, I'm not able to teach anymore, because wherever I see, I only see Krishna. So I'm not able to teach. But I'm giving you my full blessings. You can go and study from whichever teacher you like, uh, with my blessings. But I'm not able to teach. When Mahaprabhu said that, all the students with tears in their eyes, they tied up all their books and they said, after studying from you, how can we go and study from anyone else? We are not capable. We cannot have that type of, you know, faith that we got in you as our teacher. We cannot get that type of faith. We cannot study under anyone else now. So whatever we learned from you, that is enough for a lifetime. We don't need to learn anything else. Like you have resigned from being a teacher, we are also resigning from being students. No more, we won't study anymore. And then they joined him in his. And then at that time, Mahaprabhu said, please chant. So he told his students, please chant Krishna's name, like that. Other than that, we don't see Mahaprabhu actually personally going door to door or person to person on the street and telling them, please chant. It was a closed thing, closed group. So inside home, the people that he knew personally, he would tell them, but not Sankirtan, like publicly going out. And the only thing that we know of is when Mahaprabhu went to Chand Kazi's home. Yeah. That was the open outside Sankirtan. But what is happening now? Now Mahaprabhu is South India when he's going. He's just telling each and any person, and not only just he's telling them to chant, he's empowering everyone. That is why it is said, the power which he did not manifest in Navadvip, he's manifested in South India, and by that power, he has turned the whole of South India into Vaishnavas, like this. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that why he didn't do that, because they were all, well, in Navadvip, all the learned scholars are followers of Smriti Shastra, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them. Therefore, the author has remarked that the spiritual potency of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest at Navadvip. Therefore, the author has remarked that the spiritual potency Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest at Navadvip was by his grace manifested in South India. That's the point, right? He didn't try to convert the Smartas in Navadvip, but now he's converting everyone into Vaishnavas in South India. So what he didn't give in Navadvip, he's giving in South India. Thus, everyone there became a Vaishnava. By this, it is to be understood that people are really interested in preaching in a favorable situation. Srila Prabhupada is saying, Mahaprabhu did not preach in Navadvip because it was not a favorable situation. People were thinking that they know everything already. They were already great Brahmanas, right? So how can you preach to somebody who thinks that I know everything? So they were thinking they were all, very advanced Brahmanas, learned scholars, but they were not devotees. So Mahaprabhu didn't even attempt to convert them. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, by this we should understand that people are really interested in preaching in a favorable situation. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, I think Prabhupada is saying from his experience, If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. He's actually instructing, Srila Prabhupada is instructing. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, I'm forgetting exactly, maybe it is Italy, but there was a big student gathering where Srila Prabhupada was delivering a lecture. It was in the night. And somebody threw from the audience, it was like a big, like many people were there. Somebody from the audience threw a shoe, took off their shoe and threw a shoe at Srila Prabhupada on the stage. So Srila Prabhupada, it's actually very bad for them, right? If they acted like that, that means they're just towards a Vaishnava, such an exalted Vaishnava, they're finished. How? So he has come to deliver them. Instead of delivering them, now by their offenses, they're going further away. So Srila Prabhupada, went away and he felt bad for them. So therefore, if the students are not students, but if the candidates, right, if they're too disturbing, if the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. There are many more people, the world is big and there are so many people who still need Krishna consciousness. So if they are not, if they are too disturbing, then don't waste your energy on that. Rather spend that energy on those who will take to Krishna consciousness. You need some stalwart, Vaishnavas for them, like Prakashananda Saraswati. He couldn't be converted by anyone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally did. Or Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also. Mayavadis, next to impossible. But Mahaprabhu personally did that. Prakashananda Saraswati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. It is better to go where the situation is more favorable. This Krishna consciousness movement was first attempted in India, but the people of India, being absorbed in political thoughts, did not take to it. They were entranced by the political leaders. Right? They were too much into Desh Bhakti, right? And so they didn't understand, they couldn't understand the value of Krishna consciousness. They were entranced by the political leaders. We preferred, therefore, to come to the West, following the order of our spiritual master. And by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this movement is becoming successful. So, Prabhupada is connecting. Mahaprabhu didn't preach in Bengal, in Navadvip, not Bengal, Navadvip, the way he preached. Later on he does. See, after coming to Jagannath Puri, then Mahaprabhu goes back to Bengal. At that time, yes, openly he would preach. And preach means, see, Mahaprabhu's, his strategy was like this. Where there is a mass of people, no preaching, only Sankirtan. He would preach and have dialogues only with scholars. You will see Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and of course with Ramananda Rai, right, he's already a devotee. That's a different dialogue. But here converting and preaching, you see Chand Kazi, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, of course Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they're devotees. He would have dialogues with them. But other than that, to people in general, no, it's just Sankirtan. So when Mahaprabhu came back from, we will read that, from Puri, when he would go to Bengal, he would perform Sankirtan, even in Ramkeli. Thousands, unlimited number of people are following him wherever he's going, and he's just inducing everyone in chanting Hare Krishna. So that was his strategy with the masses. He would have a dialogue, philosophical dialogue only with, those who are knowledgeable, right? Those who were scholars. So he didn't do this in Navadvip. He didn't, like converting people and giving, in general, people in general, giving them Krishna Bhakti, not in a general way, not to everyone that he saw. It was limited to his devotee circle. One instance we see is Srivas Thakur's niece, Narayani. She is the mother of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is the author of Chaitanya Bhagavat. When she was 4 years old, of course, she's also from the devotee family. So that's why I'm saying it's only within the devotee circle. So there Mahaprabhu gave his remnants to her to eat, to chew on. And after she ate, he said, Narayani, now you cry in ecstasy. She just fainted at first. Then she got Krishna Prem instantly. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And she started, crying in ecstasy for Krishna. Everybody was amazed like that. But not that everyone on the street he would go and he would embrace and he would just give them and then they will all turn into devotees and they will start converting everyone. That didn't happen in Navadvip. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining why. Because the people were smartas. And even though there were brahmanas following the Vedic rituals strictly, but they were not devotees. So Mahaprabhu didn't preach there. Or he didn't spread the way he did when he went to South India. So then from that Srila Prabhupada is deriving. So a preacher need not, where the situation is not favorable, you need not preach there. Like if there's a lot of opposition and if they are too disturbing, you need not preach there. And Srila Prabhupada is saying when he was in India, people were too much influenced by the political leaders and they couldn't take to Krishna consciousness. So he chose to go to the West, where instantly they accepted, and then from there he came back. Similar to Mahaprabhu also. First Mahaprabhu only did like that, right? So he left Bengal, Navadvip, went to Jagannath Puri, went to South India, went to Vrindavan, right? Actually, Vrindavan later he went. But, and then after going to Puri and after going to South India, now when he came back to Bengal, now everybody now understood. Oh, Mahaprabhu, now they understood. Now they took to Krishna consciousness like that. So Srila Prabhupada said same thing. Because nobody was taking to Krishna consciousness in India when he was there, they didn't recognize. They would compete, even his god brothers, and he had a very difficult time. He was trying to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. He could not. He was not at all encouraged, not at all, and even tried to suppress. But he left, he went to the West, and when he came back, now they received him. So that's the point here in this verse. We will stop here. Any comments, questions? Okay, so we will end here. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavrind ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Nice class, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.